Ghost of Yōtei, everybody.
Yotei.
Yōtei is
Yotei.
here. The sequel to the long-awaited follow-up to Ghost of Tsushima. This is developed by Sucker Punch, published by Sony Interactive Entertainment, came out October 2nd, 2025 on PlayStation 5 exclusively for a price of $69.99. This game is set 300 years after the critically acclaimed Ghost of Tsushima. Ghost of Yotei is a standalone experience set in 1600s rural Japan. The story follows a haunted lone mercenary named Atsu. Thirsty for revenge, she travels through the beautiful, rugged landscapes of northern Japan, hunting those who killed her family many years earlier. 16 years after her family's death, Atsu's quest across Atsu brings her to unexplored lands in search of a gang of 6 outlaws, but she finds much more than vengeance.
Love, Harry. Love was the key.
Oh, man. So we've been jumping into this game. I have played just shy of 12 hours.
And I think I'm 8 hours.
8 hours. Austin, where you at?
I am. I beat the game already.
Oh, hey! Look at that.
Austin's running a review.
I'm not. I have played nothing of this game. I don't have it. Sorry, y'all.
You haven't made your sword?
I have not
from
made my
fire
sword.
and brimstone or anything? Okay.
Sorry.
So we've been playing this game. We jumped into it. This game throws you into the conflict. You know very early what you're doing, what's happening, what you got to do, and it's a revenge story, straight up. It's like you gotta go after these people, kill your family. You're like, got to get these guys. The Yotei 6.
The Yotei 6. Yeah, the setup for this one was very... Brett and I were talking off the podcast. Compared to Ghost of Tsushima, the setup was very quick, and it just happened. And the story is kind of like her backstory and stuff. It's kind of like, you get the gist of it. Someone killed her family, murdered them, slaughtered them, and left her, thought dead, but she's actually still alive, and she trains to become mercenary. She fought in wars and all this other stuff, so she comes back for vengeance. But like the big thing about this, the opening for this is very quick, and then they just throw you into the world. It almost, to me, feels like Breath of the Wild, where you get the gist of it, and they throw you out there and be like, welcome.
You get the game.
You get the game.
Yeah.
Like, you understand it. Go ahead. So that's my like
So was that
first
jarring?
impression.
Was it like hard to get into it? Was it like this is exactly what I wanted it to be?
For me personally, I thought it was very like I paused the game for a second. I was just like, this is kind of weird. I was expecting more of a deeper cut. You know what I mean? But after
Ghost was like,
Ghost was one hell of
into
an
the
intro,
story.
dude. But this one, it seems like they're trying to slowly feed you the story as you progress along, which is fine by me. It's a different take, and like I was telling Brett, the whole tone of the game felt extremely different to me, and I think it's just the overarching theme behind Atsu just wanting vengeance. And it seems like it's not just her that wants vengeance, and you find out deeper in the storyline. I don't want to spoil anything on her family's past and all that other jazz. So
Yeah, it's really interesting that this game, like I didn't feel that it was like too, I mean, I did feel like it was fast and it thrusts you into it, but I very quickly felt like, okay, these guys are bad and I need to go take them out. And that was kind of like my overarching like understanding.
Yeah.
It's very like black and white, here it is, but you eventually learn that there's obviously a lot more to this story than what meets the eye. And I think what's interesting about this is that what I didn't fully understand is like the way that you are introduced into this world is your home is like kind of right center in this valley, and the backdrop is Mount Yōtei, and your place, your home is kind of like the center point. And it's really interesting how it's like everything in this valley basically kind of revolves around you and your family's home around this ginkgo tree. And it's like kind of like there's this symbolicness, I think, to it, because like her dad is like this master forger, and I haven't learned much about the mom yet and stuff like that, and I also don't want to give anything away, but it's like you do learn that you're more important in this world than you come to think you are at the beginning. It's not just this is just some like random family who got killed and burned by these people. Like there's more to that. And I think that was really interesting but you don't know that right off the bat. You learn that as you progress through. So it is interesting how they're kind of, it's almost like a mystery in a weird way of like, you're kind of evolving. And I've heard some people like hearken this to it feels kind of like a Western kind of like like a Western kind of vibe where the previous one I feel like was less of that. This one feels more kind of like Westerns, like a Western movie storytelling in an interesting way. But it's just setting the tone for like, this is a very different game, although there's a lot of similarities to the Ghost game. I mean, the combats feel similar, although it's evolved, which we'll talk about. The world is gorgeous.
Beautiful,
just like the original one, but it's like tonally it's very different. The character is very different. What you're doing in the world feels also pretty different in a lot of ways. Like it's its own game completely, and it's interesting in that. But I'm really liking it.
Yeah.
Question: How long does it take? How long did it take for you to become invested in the story, or the point where you start to realize how important you are to everything? Like, how many hours was that? First hour, second hour.
I mean, I would say I'm still learning that 12 hours in.
Okay.
But I feel being invested just into the story and like what my mission is the first hour.
I think what's really invested in me is just the combat and how the game itself sets up everything without having a map, just like the old one, and the improvement on the wind system and the animal system with the bird that shows you where to go, and just visually the representation of just go explore and tell your story. And that's where you get a lot of cues from, especially running into NPCs. They kind of know you, but you haven't been there for a while, and they'll reference like, who are you and all this, and she'll either state her name or not, and they're like, oh, you're fucking what's his name, and it brings back a memory or something like that. So like it's kind of a weird way to tell the story, but it's working out. I think that's what's really saving it with the story is just the gameplay and the interactions you have with people around you, and how they interact with you as well.
And I was asking because you're going to make it or break it for me on this.
Yeah,
because I really like that. We talked about it before that Ghost had such a great intro. It really gets you invested and sets up that whole like plot where Jin falls off the bridge and he's broken and has to like rebuild himself, and it's just like, ooh, that's just so like nom 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 nom.
Yeah.
So, do you think, given the way it has set up, I would enjoy it so far?
I think you would.
I think so too. I mean, I think it's definitely it's very different.
Yeah.
But it's the story that the setup is very like there's a lot of games out there that I think are being very ambiguous and kind of like they're making it kind of, it takes a while for you to kind of learn your purpose. Very clearly, you know your purpose and you know what your mission is, and you got to fuck these guys up because these guys are assholes. And like I think that just like kind of guiding light, like this reminds me a lot of the introduction to this reminds me a lot of Baldur's Gate in a way, where it's like Baldur's Gate's mission is like you have a freaking thing up in your head, this little tadpole thing, and you want to get that thing out of your head. Everything else around it is like there to kind of like fill in the story and kind of guide you along, but the main goal is this in your head. The main goal of this is like you have these 6 people that your goal is you're going to kill them, and then you don't care what happens after that. That's your purpose.
Yeah, and you can sense that a lot with the character itself. Because in Jin's story, he was all about the balance between either being honorable or, being a ghost, basically.
Right.
With this one is more like, straight up vengeance story. And you can feel that from our protagonist in the story. And just her being guided the way she's guided. She's doing things for a reasoning, for a purpose, either learn a new skill or anything else to help her progress to her point of action, and is to kill these 6 people.
Yeah.
And like the biggest thing is just the supernatural feel in this game. There's a lot more to the supernatural feel than they had in the previous game. It's just her ability itself is just very, very odd and very supernatural. And at first I was off put by it, but now I'm kind of understanding it, and I think it goes along with the story a lot better.
All right, last question, and then we can continue forward. Is there a point in the 12 hours that you played and the 8 hours you played that's like, I'm attached to this character now?
Many times. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. For me,
At what point?
Go ahead.
Well, mostly there was a point because there's places that you go with the ginkgo tree that marks a location where you can go back into the past and relive a certain memory that happened there. That right there shows the building of this character, and that's the first time I did it, and I came to a realization of what happened to her family. Well, because it tells you, but you didn't realize how impactful it was because how tight-knit they were. It hit me pretty hard, and I got a little emotional. Not as much as with Ghost of Tsushima yet. I have a feeling it's going to hit me eventually soon, but yeah, I started feeling for this character and realizing like I'm really enjoying this character and how she's being portrayed in this.
Is the ginkgo tree a side thing, or is that just like along the trail of this?
So whenever you see a ginkgo tree, it usually indicates that you can go into a past memory, and you hold down on the touchpad and you turn back into a little girl, and there's a memory there that you basically, I wouldn't say is like in depth. It's not like in depth gameplay. You're mostly like gathering mushrooms or gathering.
It's like little vignettes of
story to help you like, I guess, more feel for what she's going through. Mm-hmm. And what's unique about this character, unlike Jin, is that she is a straight-up mercenary. And the main reason why I say this is because you have this new ability now where you can pick up sake bottles and you can drink them and basically get drunk in battle. And it will, in Ghost of Tsushima, it was called Resolve, your little yellow bubbles. In this one, it's called Spirits. And you can drink those, but the caveat to that, you'll be a little intoxicated and things get blurry. So
dude, the first time that happened to me, I didn't realize that's what that was. Yeah. And I was like, wait, my game's glitching. It's like all blurred around the edges.
It's all blurry. But you can tell in her like her fighting style and all that stuff, and along with the fact that she is very very adamant about learning with different weapons instead of just using the katana. So, and that right there really helps a lot. What about you with caring for weapons and stuff?
So in Tsushima, I didn't really care for Jin's character. I cared for the supporting cast that surrounded him.
Yeah.
The supporting cast was incredible in Ghost of Tsushima.
Yeah.
And Jin, I was like, he's just there. You know, like I didn't feel that he was a strong character as himself. I love Atsu. I think she's awesome. I think she's a strong, like driven. She's not flippy floppy or anything like that. She's very like
determined,
focused and determined on like what her goal is. But she's got charisma in a lot of ways. Like she's very charismatic in how she presents herself, like amongst whoever it is. Because there's some people that are like the people in the world see you as this character and they're like, oh, like there's this chick that's just gonna like you can't fight me or whatever, and then all of a sudden it's like you kick all their asses and stuff like that, and you feel like a badass at the end of it. And I think it's really cool in that, you know, she's not entitled in that way. She's just very confident in like her like ability to do what she does, and she's still focused on that one common goal, and I really appreciate that. On the flip side though, I haven't found a lot of supporting characters in here that I really love.
Yep.
So it's like they literally did a flip-flop in here. And I don't know if that's better, like necessarily good or bad, but as far as like a main character, I think her character is so good overall. Like it's just.
I thought Jin was an outstanding character. Like his whole story arc, like beginning to end with him.
I don't know what it was. I just never liked his delivery or any of his like. I mean, he was just like kind of like one. Yeah. Like his character, like story evolved, but like him as like just a person, like was just kind of like one note. Like I didn't feel like he had any like major like emotions or any kind of shifting of stuff and everything. And I feel like she did. Now, I will say one thing I don't like about this game right now is the voice actress for the child version of Atsu is awful.
Yeah, it sounds like a full woman.
Yes,
talking.
it's so bad.
Weird.
And it's like if I could change one thing about this game, it would be that.
It does not
because
sound like a little girl.
the voice actress for the actually like grown up Atsu is really good, and this is one of her first professional voice roles. She like she comes from she does a lot of D&D like streaming stuff, and that's what her background is. And like this is her jumping to like a full blown role, and she's really done a good job with it so far.
I do agree with Brett on this one. I hear a lot of complaints the supporting characters aren't that impactful or have like great stories behind them, and I haven't like I said, I played 8 hours of it. I haven't found a supporting character I like. Most of them seem like vendors that you just call back and talk to and stuff. They're interesting to talk to, but beyond that, there's no in-depth stuff with them.
Because you're building this thing called the Wolf Pack.
Yep.
So there's actually one character that I feel like has more character than any of it, and it's the actual wolf in the game.
Oh, yeah.
There's a wolf that shows up, and you don't know anything about this wolf, but you're trying to befriend this wolf. And eventually the wolf is a character in itself that you can level up that will help you and support you in like the game, so they made a gameplay mechanic out of it. And I love the wolf as a character, even though the wolf obviously doesn't talk, but it's like you're building this relationship with this wolf that's just like out there. And so that is an interesting component to it. But you have this wolf pack that are people that you meet along your journey that are there to help you. One of there's a kid that, really weird, but
searches
kind of
dead
interesting, that searches dead bodies, that eventually once you like uncover like a stronghold or whatever, like he just shows up to like search for dead bodies.
Keep him
like
busy.
he's your wandering vendor guy that you can go to and stuff like that. But everybody else is like, they're at different areas of the world that are meant to be just a vendor basically in a lot of ways, and they give you story and stuff like that. But like, I wish that they had a little bit, they'd have a deeper meaning. Like the world right now ultimately like revolves around you, and then the conflict between like Lord Saito and the other clans that are like clashing with each other, but there's no like so far individualized side characters that have a really strong, like they're all like just people on the journey that help you get from point A to point B, but the story is ultimately about you.
Yes.
And that's very different from Tsushima, but I don't think it's a bad thing. You know, it's just very different in how they tell the story. So, but yeah, let's talk about the world and some of the exploration, I think. So,
okay. I'm cool with that.
Or you want to talk about someone else?
No, I just had it in order, but go ahead.
Hey, wait. What was your order?
However you had it in order in our notes.
Okay. Cool.
Weapons.
Yeah. Awesome. So whenever you open up into the game, like you have this Yotei 6, your targets, and you can go in any order. So that's something that's interesting in this game too. It's like there's no like linear, like right now there's 2 or 3 that I'm kind of tracking, and I can go either to this region, I can go to this region, I can go to this region, and I can decide which way I want to go. And it's just up to me. So ironically, you and I sound like we're going the same pathway.
Yeah, we're going the same pathway. It seems like that's the pathway to go because they introduce a card system. Every time you like interrogate someone, they'll give you some details about either the Yotei 6 or give you details about a hidden thing. You get to choose basically at the end. But how the game opens up, like Fog of War style, just like Ghost of Tsushima, and you kind of like you get this new thing with a is it telescope? Yeah,
it's spyglass.
Oh, spyglass. You get a spyglass. You can like look around and you can like look at certain areas, just like Ghost, where they have either a dark smoke coming up or a white smoke or steam coming up, and those indicate different things around there. So like the white smoke basically indicates like a collectible of some sort or some upgrade ability, and then the steam is the hot springs, which would increase your health, and usually the dark smoke is like a hidden camp or bandits or basically bad guys you can fight.
Yeah.
And with the new Spyglass feature, you can just stand there on top of like a high cliff or something like that, or even on top of, like Brett was doing recently, is on top of a shrine area, and he was looking around and highlighting those points. And once you highlight those points with your Spyglass, it will appear on your map and what it is. So I think that new feature is awesome, and I think opening you up in the first area is almost like an open field. It will give you like a general feel on how to progress directionally on which way you want to go by just like looking around and seeing all these smoke clouds and stuff. But I think visually the game is stunning, and I think the map is pretty fucking big. Like I used to in Ghost of Tsushima walk everywhere. I don't do that anymore. So especially with the new feature with the horse, you can run through flowers, which will give you an extra boost, which is super fun. And then the scenery with that, if you run next to like a bunch of wild horses out there, they'll all run with you. And it seems
was so sick.
It's so sick. It looks so fucking beautiful.
I also noticed when you pick up resources on your horse, it gives you a speed boost too. Yeah, which I thought was really nice because you need a lot of resources. So I'm just running around just picking up stuff as I go and helping to I haven't had a resource capacity issue that much, and like upgrading my character and stuff like that so far, which has been nice.
And that's a big thing, is the resources. I know I'm probably getting off track because we're talking about the general feel of the game, well, the map and the scenery.
Yeah.
But like the resources are mandatory on this one. Compared to the last one, they were kind of hit or miss if you need them, because you used to collect supplies to purchase things, but now you actually collect coins, and you need the resources to craft like better armor, better weapons, and also to craft ammunition, which is a new feature which I really like. So.
Yeah. The world is really interesting, and I think that they've done a really good job at I feel like even more like Ghost of Tsushima did such a good job setting it up to have like the smoke or the wind guiding you, and then like the bird and all the different things around and stuff like that. But like in this one, it's like throughout the first like 5 hours of the game, I was just looking at things in the map and just going to those. Yep. And whenever, like, there is literally zero HUD on this game when you're running around, and except for like your little health bar in the corner, and it's just like so clean and simple. And I love how they have minimized so much of that and put it into the world, but making it feel like it's appropriate in the world.
Which they also improved on that system with the gust of wind and the bird itself, because the bird you can actually no shit follow without running into like a mountainside or anything like that, or getting stuck in between a tree. You can also, like with the wind, go into the settings and accessibility and make it like no shit give you a direction on which way to go, instead of just a big gust of wind how it's used to.
Right. Yeah.
So
and then they even added, like, they have this little, what is it, the shamisen or whatever, your little guitar on your back.
Oh yeah.
That I didn't realize that you unlock songs that you can play for that, and actually one new feature in this game is this thing called the camp. So you can set up camp literally anywhere you are in the world. And when you set up a camp, you can use the camp to craft your weapons. You can use it to talk to people if you're at a camp that has people at it. You can use it to play your shamisen, and then you can use it to cook. And if you cook fish,
craft ammunition,
and and then craft the ammunition and stuff. So like when you cook, you can cook fish, and it gives you an upgrade to, I think gives you a buff for something, and you can also cook mushrooms. It'll give you another buff.
It'll give you a buff to your spirit orbs. It'll give you a timer, like a green orb that's just
bonus green orb. Yeah,
bonus green orb. So you can have another resolve, which is very useful. I didn't realize how useful it was.
Especially early game.
Early game, yeah.
Yeah. And then but as you're exploring the world, so like instead of having a quest log like you're used to having in this game, the quest log is built into the map, and it's these little cards. So you have these little cards that you collect as you like unlock and learn information about people, and it's so far like you either have your main quest log cards, which are basically the people that you're tracking, and then you have your bounties that you can collect, which are people you can kill that you can also get information from. And then you have like mysteries or things that you can discover, and there's different categories of them. But I really like that system as opposed to like a big giant quest log, because there's no description necessarily. It's just like you need to go to this place and figure it out. And then when you get there, it's like pretty easy to kind of figure out what you need to do when you get there. But I think it's a really intuitive system to manage quests without having a separate menu that's just overly complicated and have it then click to track it, because whenever you like look at a card, it'll automatically, when you hover over that card, and zoom it in the map, because it's all one interface, which is really nice and smart to guide you to where you need to go, and just kind of see, oh, this card's over here, this card's over here, and you can like quickly like scan through it, and then decide, oh, there's like 4 cards that I have in this area, let me just go there and then do my thing. And I think that was I've never seen that done before in a game, but like I can see that mechanic being reused in other games at some point.
And also like another, like basically with the map itself, if you go into a new area, you're kind of recommended to talk to someone in that area, because they will give you a side quest. There's no more just like a hub saying, oh, you have a side quest here, you have a side quest, not a hub, but something pointing over their head. You just have to walk up to random people, and you're able to talk to them. They'll give you some kind of side quest of some sort, which will give you either a shrine to boost up your skills, or a relic of some sort, or a sword kit, or anything like that.
Yeah, there's a lot of random people and encounters of things that are just like,
it almost feels like
world
Red
events
Dead to me. As well, because you'll run into like random strangers that are either getting attacked or something like that, and it's just a one-time experience type thing. So
The other thing that I thought was really interesting. So one time it was raining, and I pull up on my map, and there's water droplets that are landing on top of my map in the game. Yeah, and I was like, okay,
I didn't notice that.
The detail in this game is really, really impressive because I was like, I mean, it was pouring the rain out. I pull up my map, and you just see like little water droplets starting to land on the parchment.
That's fucking cool.
Because there's this whole idea of like this writing and this transcribing, and like, you know, you used to have the haiku side missions you used to do. In this one, basically they've been replaced by this thing called Sumi-E, which is like this like painting side mission where you find an area and then you have to paint, and you use your touchpad to like draw strokes on the touchpad and stuff. And there's a lot of usage of the touchpad. I thought that was really interesting, that like this game, I don't know how they're going to do this on PC, to be honest, because there's so much like, I mean, I guess they can figure it out with like the mouse controls and stuff, but there's so much interaction requirements that rely on the DualSense controller that I am curious to see how they translate that to other platforms. Like this wouldn't work on an Xbox game or platform, I don't think. Just with a lot of the mechanics for a lot of these side missions are tied to something with your DualSense specific controller.
Yeah.
Yeah. Combat. Let's talk about combat.
Combat. I love fucking combat.
Yeah. How do you feel about the biggest change I feel like with combat is that instead of stances, we now have different weapons.
Yeah.
How you feeling about that?
I just recently unlocked the dual swords, and the dual swords are meant to go up against people with spears. So I'm really excited to unlock more. The chain one that has like the blade on the end of it, I can't remember what it's called, but those are meant for the shield guys, and you can do unique things with that, with like silent kills. You can do like the scorpion thing, grab them and drag them to you and kill them. So I'm very excited to like dive more into that, but so far I don't think it's like a big change, really.
Yeah.
I think they just basically replace it as the rock, paper, scissors game all over again, which is fine because it worked out great in Ghost of Tsushima. The changing out the weapons is very quick, you know. The biggest thing that they did introduce is the disarm thing, which can get very annoying, where someone can actually disarm you and you'll see like a yellow glint, and you're supposed to hold down triangle and stop it from happening or just dodge out of the way completely. But it doesn't leave you like swordless, basically. You can still fight with your hands. I don't know if you've done that yet.
No, I've been too good at disarming them, so I don't.
Yeah. So like if you do get disarmed, you can try to like punch them to death, but you eventually have to run back and actually grab your weapon. I was very concerned about running back and grabbing your weapon because there's so much chaos going on. They usually highlight it as a yellow tint, and you can run back and grab it. You can also pick up other weapons that people drop, because you can eventually unlock a skill where you can disarm them. And you can pick up their weapon, or you can pick up anything and throw it at them, which is very entertaining.
I like, that's one of my favorite combat features, to be honest, because I love running up to people, and it's like, oh, I'm like, I just kill this one guy, and this other guy's come up to me, and I'll just like grab a sword and be like, whoop, boom, and just slash them, and it's just like, I kind of, it feels like Batman a lot in this, the fluidity of the attacking with those extra abilities in there, where I can move around quickly around the battlefield and like take people out. Is there a lock-on feature?
So here's the big thing about this one. And in the last game there was a lock-on feature, but on default on this one it's not there.
That's
if you go to the accessibility settings, you can turn it back on along with the classic Ghost of Tsushima stuff. So yes.
Interesting, yeah, because I was like, I mean, it hasn't really been a big deal, but I was like, I'm pressing R3 and I'm like, it's not locking on to people to like focus my character
on.
But it hasn't really been a struggle, but I just thought that was interesting that wasn't a default thing that they brought it. There's interesting some of the things that they did change about this, but overall I'm like really enjoying the combat. The dual katanas are awesome against the spear people. I've started to unlock more stuff with my weapons. So like I have on my katana now, I have this ability where I can press circle and triangle at the same time, and it does this like super like hardcore like charge up, like smash in their chest, and like basically if they're
like the heavenly strike from Ghost of Tsushima.
No, or maybe I don't know.
Whoosh, and you fly past them.
No, it's not that one. It's similar though. Similar, yeah. Okay. And there's another one where you like hold your katana to your side for a little bit and like kind of charge up a like heavy hit, and then go and like whack them and stuff, which I think is really cool. So there's There's a lot of interesting stuff in the combat mechanics. I'm anxious to learn more. One thing that I think is really strong about this game is that they they do a good job at. I feel like weapons and upgrades and stuff feel way more valuable because they're so spread out.
Oh yeah.
Like I just unlocked the Scorch Bomb, which you'll get in the second part of the world and stuff like that. And it's a fire bomb that you can throw out and like kill people with. And it is like really, really cool.
I've seen a lot. I'm ready for that one.
Yeah.
I'm excited.
And the menu, you know, like the way in which they handle like the control scheme of this game is so incredibly intuitive and like well designed in that like I mean I have the short bow, the long bow, multiple weapon types for all of that, but the way they designed it was so smart and how quick you can switch between those things.
Yep.
You just got to like you hold down left trigger and then all of a sudden you have your throwables there. You hold down right trigger and that's how you can switch your katana blades and stuff like that. And I just think that's like super, super clever and intuitive. And then like R1 to like throw the smoke, the little like short, hand throwables and stuff. And it's just all that stuff just feels really nice. But they make full use of like, there's a lot of mechanics and controls here, but all of it feels like easy to learn and grasp.
Yeah, no, 100%. I really like the combat. Felt very similar to Ghost, and I haven't. Oh, never mind.
Yeah,
felt very similar to Ghost, and like jumping into it right away felt nice. But I'm ready. I'm ready to dive in with the gun, with all the different weapon types and stuff. I'm excited to jump back into that. How do you feel about her ability? Because they introduced that very quick.
I feel like if I'm using it correctly, it basically just like I activate my ability and I can just go up and like one shot kill an enemy.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I kind of wish it did a little bit more than that. Like I wish I could like get a couple people, I feel like it should be more stronger.
I think once you start upgrading, you can.
I think so too,
your wolf gets involved as well. I did eventually, speaking about combat and stuff, I did like do an upgrade for my wolf where if I go down, I have a potential for him to pick me back up.
Yeah.
And he did that. And I was just like, whoa.
Yeah.
If I can attack someone else and I got back up, was ready to go. So.
Yeah. Yeah. He hasn't come up and fought with me yet much, or she. Sorry, it's a she. I realized. But yeah, she hasn't fought with me much yet. But I did unlock the ability where if I do enter a standoff or enter a combat, she should be more likely to show up and fight and stuff. But yeah, it's definitely, it hasn't been too bad. But the skill tree though, I do like, I was mentioning before we got on camera, like one of the big changes here is like you used to be, you would unlock skills. Was there a leveling system in Tsushima?
Yeah, there was a leveling system. At first, I did not like that. Well, I liked the leveling system in Tsushima because you do a bunch of side quests, pick up things, you earn a bit of experience and stuff like that. And this one, you have to actually like go find these shrines. And I'm like, you kind of forced me to go collect collectibles. I didn't like that at first.
But that's what you like to do, man.
I know, but I didn't want to do it for fucking skills, you know? Because, like, I want to, like, be overpowered because I'm doing all these side quests and fighting people and earning experience by killing people. But after a while, I mean, like, it feels natural with the story and it feels natural with the gameplay. So I'm kind of fine with it now.
Yeah.
It doesn't bother me as much.
Yeah, one thing, Austin, that they have in here is the skill points are tied to these altars of something or whatever, and you have to find these things in the world, and that's how you get a skill point. So you can kind of control how many abilities you want to upgrade early in the game based on if you like decide to just go around and look for these little altars. Yeah. And so I started doing that, and then it allowed me to unlock, like I've already probably done half my skill tree with all the things that I've like discovered and unlocked, which is nice because now I have all these extra abilities that I can use earlier in the game. But you control how that pace happens rather than like waiting for your XP to like level up and stuff, which I think was a nice benefit. Now there's still things that are locked that you can't open up because of you haven't progressed in the story enough yet. But that feature I think was really cool, and it's a 1-to-1 too, so you're not having to. If you unlock an altar, you get a skill.
Yep.
That's how it operates, which I think is really smart.
Technique.
Yeah, it's called a technique. So one of the first things I did was like, there is fall damage in this game, and it hurts bad. So I was like, if I jump off a cliff, I want to be able to hold a circle and roll, and that was one of my first ones, and it was great.
I think my first one was the, I think it was like the parrying, something to do with parrying.
Yeah, I focus on the regular attacks and then the survival first, and then I started going down the assassin tree, and now I'm going down the weapon specific ones.
Yeah.
Because most of the other ones are unlocked, and I haven't really touched much with the bow because I don't really need more concentration. Like I've got the shooting down pretty well. Yeah. So I'm saving that for the end. But
I'm so happy we have the bow back, and like right away too.
Oh yeah, that was super nice. Yeah. So overall, though, I mean, like it's been. Oh, I also played with I played with the little special modes that are hidden in the menu. The 3 new modes that they've added to the game. They have Kurosawa mode, which makes it black and white. Not playing that because I'm like, this game is so colorful. You gotta enjoy the color.
That one, and I'm not.
Yeah, I think it'd be cool for a second playthrough, but first playthrough not. I did, however, turn on the other one, which was called. I forgot what the other 2 are called, but there's one that was like the lo-fi mode.
Yeah,
and I ran
that one.
I ran that for about 3 hours, and I was like, oh, this is kind of nice.
That one's nice, but it seems like the music stops too much.
Yeah,
like I was
in
certain areas and it wasn't playing off because I was trying to show my girlfriend it wasn't playing.
Yeah.
And I was just like, what the fuck's happening?
I think it's because of like it's like meant to be for like the exploration parts, and when you start combat, it shuts off.
I think I'm gonna switch over because there's one mode that's like super bloody mode.
Yeah, I turned that on for a little bit. It was cool. It wasn't as a lot of people when I heard them saying they were using it, they were like, oh, I think it's called Watanabe mode or something. But they were like, oh yeah, it was so intense and like it was too much. Like they said it was way too much. But I didn't really notice it being that significant. It zooms the camera in a little bit, so it's harder to see your periphery.
Oh.
And then whenever you kill people and like slash them or whatever, like you just see like freaking buckets of blood fly out of their body, and then you get muddy and everything all over the place. And I mean, it was cool for a little bit, but it didn't really add a whole lot to me. But it was neat that it existed there. So that was kind of cool. But yeah, Ghost of Yotei. I'm trying to think if there's any other pieces that I'm missing right now at this point. I don't know, Austin. What are your thoughts about what we've been talking about? How are you feeling about it? Are you interested at all in this game, or are you like, eh?
I mean, I'm kind of right now.
Yeah. What do you think is the biggest holdback for you?
It's probably the things I've heard of how the Sucker Punch is going about it and what their intent was for the character, which was not
Cyberpunk.
No, Sucker Punch.
Oh,
Sucker Punch, yeah. What their intent was for the character, which I feel like it's been confirmed, but I guess I don't really know enough exactly, but yeah. I personally wanted a continuation of Jin Sakai's story to something else. Maybe like a few years in the future. I don't know.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Yeah.
I mean, I might get it later. Because this isn't even on PC yet, is it?
No.
Yeah.
Probably won't be on PC till like 2 years from now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I might just wait to get it on PC, honestly.
Yeah.
Just 'cause I can't play the whole thing about PlayStation these days is like I just don't play it enough. I don't sit down to play PlayStation like.
Yeah.
But you sit down and play PC?
Yeah, I do.
Because he has his PC at work and stuff, so he can take it to different places.
Yeah,
So.
and plus my wife wants to use the front TV and watch things, and so it's just like, okay,
Yeah.
I'll just go play on my PC.
Yeah. You need an Apple TV for your living room.
Or just attach your
do have
PlayStation to your PC and just play it, sit down and play it there.
Yeah.
That's what I used to do.
Oh, yeah. No, I don't want to do with all that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, yeah, it's one thing on performance, like it's running really, really well.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I'm not surprised, but like,
Right.
I mean, I feel like we've had a couple of good hits with like games that were like, no, this game is great. It's polished. I mean, it like works really well. And that's a big, I mean, because of how big this place is, like when you get up on top of these hills, like you look across the world and it's like, I can go there at some point in this game. And there's never a loading screen.
No, and especially like opening up the game. As soon as you open up the game, it shows like the Sony intro, and then you're loaded right in the game. Your character's standing right there. There's no menu or anything like that. You're just there. It threw me off big time.
I was also really surprised by the only glitch I had, which I think is just I'm so used to games where now you can like kind of climb anywhere. Like Breath of the Wild started that, and it kind of evolved in places. Yōtei does not let you do that, obviously. Like, it's because I think the climbing mechanic is part of the puzzle. It's like a puzzle in itself of like finding the right climbing holds and stuff to navigate through. And there's when I was trying to get to that one that you said where you like you have to play the music to like get across, I was trying to jump, and like my character would jump in and just like kind of like glitch a little bit, and then it would like she would just teleport back, and I was like, okay, this is weird. But beyond that, like there hasn't really been I haven't had a single bug. It's been running great. Super smooth. I did drop it down to performance mode, which still looks incredible, because I wanted that smoothness of the character design or the movement. But yeah, I mean it's crazy how well it runs so far right now. I mean this game is probably it's not beating Clair Obscur yet, but like this is like number 2 for me for the year of game of the year.
Yeah, I need to play it some more. I don't think it's going to beat my Death Stranding 2 at the moment.
Yeah,
because I was thinking about that. I was just like, is this game of the year like worthy? And I don't know for sure if it is or not.
Yeah,
you know, because like Death Stranding 2 is still like my game of the year nominee. But I'm trying.
I still need to try Death Stranding 2, but I feel like there's something about Death Stranding 2 that I feel like I run into with a lot of these open world games, which this doesn't give me, is the just the vastness. Like there's so much I feel like in Death Stranding 2 almost for some weird reason that
there is a lot, but to me it's controllable.
Right.
You know, it's not like Assassin's Creed Shadow where there's a lot of shit, but it feels overwhelming. With Death Stranding 2, I feel comfortable. I get used to the locations that I'm going to and know where to go. But with this one, like I'm still early in, but I'm fucking enjoying myself. If I didn't have to work this weekend because I had to work, I would have taken off the whole week and played this game.
Yeah.
So,
I will clarify my statement a little more. Is that Japanese manga, anime? I feel like they do a really good job of like portraying a woman hero. Or just women in those genres well, and I'm not confident that Western devs can present women in the same way.
Yeah.
That's it. So, I mean, hey, if it turns out to be great, that's great. And I think I'll eventually play it. I'm not going to play it right now.
Yeah.
Plus, with everything coming out, like...
There's a lot.
There's a lot.
I mean, we got Battlefield 6 in 5 days. So, yeah.
Yeah. Thanks, Brett. I had a pre-order because of you.
That's right. Yeah, no, I think it's great. I mean, it's a solid game, and I feel like there's a lot of really good. I just feel like it's there's so much like I guess semblance of like the peace and the beauty of Japan represented in this game, which I think is really cool. Obviously I haven't been, but you know, from what I understand, it's gorgeous, and what Austin told me, it's really nice. And this is, I think, supposed to be based off of the real life Hokkaido, I believe is the name of the area. So that's like where this is supposed to be set. And I know Yotei is like a real place. I saw an article the other day of a guy that was like so excited for this game that he's a Japanese man. He actually went and climbed Yotei, just to like, he was like, yeah, I can't wait. So I'm going to go up to the top of it and then play this game. So I thought that was kind of cool. So, but yeah, it's pretty solid. Ghost of Yotei out now, available on PlayStation 5 exclusively.